What's up, guys? This is Dalton here with Financial Trades. And today we're going to do some forecasts on the market this upcoming week. The first thing I want to do is potentially check our economic calendar, right? So I'm going to go to marketwatch.com and go to the economic calendar just to see if anything is going to be up for tomorrow. As you see, there is no news for tomorrow on Monday, so that is absolutely great, but we do have earnings this week. Now, last week was a huge earnings week for the tech. Let's see. So we do have news this week. You have the initial jobless claims and the continuing jobless claims Thursday. So that is something to be aware of. We will check this daily and every single morning just so we are sure about all the news that come out throughout the day so it does not affect our trading and our positions as we're trading the market. So Monday, as of tomorrow, we have no news. Another thing we can check is earnings. So we're going to get up the earnings calendar here. And it says here tomorrow you have Pinterest. This is after close. So after market close, you have Pinterest, Activision Blizzard, and those are really the bigger ones. You do have Energizer. Okay, so I would watch out for Pinterest and Activision Blizzard if you were willing to trade some earnings. Now, I personally do not like trading earnings. They are highly risky, and you must understand what you're doing before you get into them. So this week, you also have Uber and Lyft. Those are very good ones, and CVS. Let's see, what else do we got here? Affirm is not too bad, and you have Robinhood. MGM is not a bad one either. Let's see, you got Chipotle. You got BP. What else you got here? You got PayPal. PayPal is a good one, and Kellogg's. Nice. So those are some earnings that I would possibly look out for this week for potential trades, or just to keep in touch with the markets, right? So let's go ahead and get out of this. What I really want to touch upon real quick is SPY. So I wanted to get some of the levels here. Let's see. So obviously SPY has been uptrending. We came out of this consolidation period where price was consolidating, trading in a range between 386 and 378 until we broke out of that range with a retest and a push higher, right? So that is good. This market is quite bullish right now, right? We are uptrending, but we are getting up here to these oversold or overbought levels, that we do have to be aware of for a potential pullback to go higher if we were to go higher, right? So previously, we can look at some prices in the past that SPY was rejected at. So a few spots that come to mind is here, and here, right? So this one's a little higher than where we're at. We're trading around 413, 409-ish currently. So these are all the points that I want to be fully aware of, right? So let's clear the chart and let's mark some of these, right? So right here, I would draw some, I would say supply zones, right? So you have really good supply zones up here. I would highlight the wick of this large sell-off candle, and I would also highlight the wick all the way to the body of that large sell-off candle as well, since those are the two relevant candles and price rejections that are closest to where we are trading at currently. So let's go ahead and draw this across our screen. Awesome. So once we get a hold of these two levels here, I'm going to go to a lower time frame to possibly confirm that these levels are working. So you can see here on Thursday when we had a consolidation at open, holding this 413 level quite well, pushing us higher with direction and momentum all the way up to that 418 supply zone for a major rejection. Come Friday, we got rejected in pre-market here. You can see pre-market was a crazy sell-off right before open with a push above, failing to hold above that consolidation above this demand zone right here of 415, pushing us back down below, ending the day right at pre-market lows, right? So that was some good things to be aware of. There is some more things I would like to point out here on SPY. If we go back to the 4-hour mark, it would also be down here around this 406 level, right? You have good little market imbalance here. Nice consolidation and previous rejection on SPY around this 406 range. So after having some of these levels, we could potentially trade the market almost 10 times more efficiently than the majority just by knowing where possible reversal points are and price targets, right? We know if price fails to get back above 414 or 413 and it fails to hold above it, you are most likely going to see 407 or 406-ish on SPY. So those are some very good levels to maybe put down on your chart or maybe even write on a notepad of SPY hitting 406 or 418 again, right? If we get above this 414 level with heavy momentum and good direction and enough volume, it will push us all the way back up to 418 and possibly come up to the top of the zone at 420, right? You can indeed go to the top of the zone rather than getting rejected at the bottom of the zone as well. So definitely some crucial levels here that I would put on my chart just to ensure that I am fully aware of them. Another thing that I want to point out is our previous uptrend that we had, right? So our previous uptrend was here, right? You had a very, very good uptrend until we broke that upwards trend line to the downside with consolidation with a push back up. Now, we do know that we never retested this trend line. So yes, price theoretically could possibly come up to 432 with a retest, right? But it might just pull back first because we also got to check maybe some trend lines down here, right? So you have a potential trend line down here around this 406, 404 range, right? For maybe a push higher. But this is not really what I wanted to show you. This was more just making you aware of some of these trend lines and how the market is trading. What I really wanted to show you was some of these deviation channels, right? So if you get a channel here on SPY, actually, I think I did this on the daily chart, right? Let's go to the daily chart and let's look at our previous uptrend, right? So let's extend this all the way. Possibly we can go even here as well. And let's go to a 4-hour to double check if that is working or not. I would probably want to go up just a little bit on that. Okay, perfect. So that's not that bad of an upwards channel. I can clearly see that price is respecting the top and bottom and the middle zone as well. Now, what I really want to do here is create a deviation channel, which I'm going to copy and paste. Now, that is not exactly the same channel as that, so we're going to fix it just a little bit. We're going to line these corners up right here. Awesome. So now you have another deviation channel of the very first upward channel that we were trading in, allowing us to see how price is reacting to this deviation channel. Now, as you can see, there's major rejection up on this bottom line on this second deviation channel. But I'm going to take this a step further, and I'm going to draw one more deviation channel. Let's go ahead and line the corners up here, one on the bottom and one on the top. Perfect. So now you can see that price is even respecting the center of this third deviation channel. And we were able to get a false breakout into the second deviation channel. So we got the first channel, second deviation channel, and the third. So we were able to get a false breakout into this second deviation channel, pushing us back down into the third deviation channel. So it leaves us to believe that potentially we come back to the center, right? So not only do we have a trend line around this 406, 404 level, but we also have a demand zone around this 406 level as well. And we have the center of this third deviation channel around this 403 level. So somewhere down here is possibly a good level to potentially look for calls or a push further up, right? If you're able to break this 406 level and even the 403, then you would start looking for 392. Now, you would want to wait for confirmation, and possibly you wouldn't want to do it the very first breakout to the downside. You might want to wait for a retest or something like that. So we can go to an even smaller time frame here to just see how this is actually working, right? Okay, cool. So now we can see this just a little bit better. And what I'm seeing here is on Friday, we never actually broke that second deviation channel. We were actually still in it, even on a smaller time frame. So definitely would be looking for a bounce or a break of 412.14 for a pushback down to 407. Now, let me remind you, candlesticks do have wicks, so you could see a bounce into this 414 level for a sell-off back down to the 407, right? You could trade in this like little zone that you have here between these two areas. You could see price squeeze and consolidate right here before it actually wants to break up or break down. All right, guys, so I figured I'd point that out because this is working quite well here. You can really see how it's respecting some of these levels quite well. We can also clear this chart and just go off of some of my favorite basic trading techniques, which would revolve around trading previous day high and low. So previous day high, previous day low, and pre-market high and pre-market low. So I would really want to see a break below 410 with a good retest and possible solid direction in order to go for that 406 range, right? So that 406 range is around here. It is also our previous rejection from the last day that we were even trading around 406 because you had a major pump above. So it really just leaves us with just a huge gap right here of a good little fall. A nice, let's see, a nice 1.14% drop on SPY. If you're able to get below that 410 with a solid retest and solid direction, right? So that right there is a good analysis on SPY that I will be looking for this week in the market. Some of the things, let's see. We can take a look at the NASDAQ. Now, I don't know how messy this chart is. It's pretty messy. Let's go ahead and delete everything, right? So we're on the 4-hour here on NASDAQ. As you can see, it's kind of got the same setup. We're going to throw two lines on these wicks, on these major supply zones here. And let's see. We got a nice buying area here on the NASDAQ. Nice little pump there. Crazy sell-off here. So you got two little good ranges down here on the NASDAQ that you could potentially see a drop towards and a bounce around 12315 for a bounce upwards on the NASDAQ, or we'll drop all the way down to 12095, right? If you compare this chart to our SPY chart, let's see, let's go to SPY 4 hour. So we said the 406 range, right? So that would put us around the same spot. So if NASDAQ were to fall all the way down here to some of its demand areas, that would also leave SPY falling to 405, 406-ish. All right, guys, so that right there is going to end this video. If you like a little bit of this SPY analysis and just going over some levels, please leave a like, make sure you subscribe, and leave a comment below, and let me know how you like the video.